Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone on this Monday. Yes, it's a miserable Monday here in Dublin. We've had a bit of rain, a bit of cloud cover, and all of that. But I hope to find you all very, very well. And as you can tell by the heading of the video, we're going to be talking a little bit about the toxic fandom. And we have some news in regards to the bully that bullied Melina offline. We still haven't heard from Melina. So again, I just want to say, Melina, if you're watching, please get in contact. There's a lot of people worried about you. We just want to know that you're okay. That's it. If you decide to stay off Twitter, that's fine. But if you could let people know that you're okay, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But before we get into it all, we have a bit of Doctor Who news. So actress Tanya Fair, who starred in Arachnids in the UK, has been missing since September the 9th. Now, apparently, she was seen at Trader Joe's on Sunday, and she hasn't been found. There's a missing persons report being filed. Obviously, the Doctor Who official account has put up information as well. And I just want to say I hope the actress is okay. It's never good when someone goes missing. So the update was Tanya was last seen on the 12th of September at Trader Joe's on 73110 Santa Monica Boulevard, close to LA Boulevard Avenue. Anyone in the area, please keep your eyes open. Thank you for the help. There's a hashtag find Tanya Fair, hashtag missing person. So I wanted to start off the show by bringing that to people's attention, especially those who are living in the States. If you do happen to see this actress, report it to the police. You know, we got a few people from America that do follow this channel. So, you know, as I said, very, very, very upsetting news for her friends and family. And let's hope she is found safe and well. Right, let's get into the topic of conversation. So, as you know yourselves, Melina was bullied offline by the same bloke that bullied Starry offline, a cynical archivist. Now, he made some slanderous comments about John the White. John the White then decided that he'd had enough of this behavior and had told Cynical that if he didn't retract his statements, he was going to go to the police and file a report. Now, I wake up today to find out that his account has been taken down. Now, this could be him himself taking the account down so he can get rid of the tweets that he put up. But what he doesn't realize is that people have taken screenshots of all of these tweets. So even if he does come back online, those tweets are still available because people have screenshot them. So, you know, if this is his way of trying to get out of being for John to be able to put his case forward with the police, he's totally wrong. Yeah, we've got the screenshots, so like, you know, they can be used. I don't think the guy actually realizes that, but just to show you, because this will be obviously good news to people out there, because he is one of the most toxic people that we have in the fandom. And I'm going to show you a post that Lee threw up a while ago. So I'm going to screen share that there now and just show you. So, as you can see here, it says this account doesn't exist. So he's either taken the account down himself to try delete those tweets, or he has basically knocked it off for now so he can try get rid of all of the defaming tweets that he's thrown up. But unfortunately for him, as I said, screenshots have been taken. So my advice to him is, if he's listening, is don't come back on Twitter. Stay off Twitter. Nobody wants to see you around on Twitter. You're nothing but a vile piece of crap. And to be quite honest with you, you know, if you're gone, good riddance is what I say. My memory reborn. You can get out of the chat there now, because you've been starting up again under several different accounts. So you can go unless you want to be added to the police report as well. So if someone could remove him, please. Because we have no time for idiots anymore in this fandom. So get out. Nobody wants to see you around. You're just a big scumbag like the rest of them. Keep trolling and saying disgusting stuff you have. And when you target me as well, I'll never forgive that. So get out. I don't care that you've turned over a new leaf or you've pretended to turn over a new leaf. I don't really give a crap. You're just as bad as all of those other idiots out there. So stay out of my chat. And hopefully the moderators have actually removed you. PD has removed you. Well done, PD. We have no time for idiots like that in this fandom anymore. All right, your time is up. Go on and disturb someone else, because, you know, as I said, your behavior will not be tolerated in this fandom anymore. And that goes for Mr. Tardis as well. He brought up the comments that I made about China, and he's trying to, you know, he couldn't even get his facts straight. I think he was either blaming Lee or he was writing it back up again. Listen, if you have a problem with my comments about China, you come to me, right? Also, in the very same stream, I clarified my comments, and I also apologized if it came across wrong. And at the end of the day, it's none of your business what I do on my channel. I don't know what makes you think that you are the moral compass of this fandom. You're just as bad. You've been harboring trolls in your chat, which we highlighted the other day when we did a video. So you're just as bad as the rest of them, because you've been informed several times over the last couple of years that people that associate with your channel, people that associate with your account, are going around bullying people, but you've chose to ignore that and come after the likes of me, Ballstreck and Gary, right? But you won't call out people on your own side that have been going harassing and bullying people. You're a bit of a hypocrite. And you also engage in that yourself. You know, when you retweet someone's tweet, you know exactly what you're doing, right? You know that there's going to be a mob mentality that are going to go after these people that opinions you do not like. And, you know, we're sick and tired of this behavior. But the guy that has been behind the bullying of 2 women in this fandom, and a lot more, by the way, you know, obviously we had Starry-Eyed Girl a few years back, and now we've had Melina. But he's gone off Twitter now. And I'm just going to say this. I think he's just gone off Twitter to try and delete and go back through his account and delete all the tweets that he has made over the last couple of years. But unfortunately for him, what he doesn't realize is, as I said, you know, screenshots have been taken. So memory says, grow up, Noel, you're a public figure. That means people have the right to criticize you. Yeah, there's a difference between criticism and actually saying that my wife deserved it and other stuff like that. There's a difference between criticism and being sent beheading pictures and porn pictures and being harassed for these last years. It's completely different. All right. So don't be trying to justify. Don't try to justify the toxic stuff that's been going on. And by the way, I ain't a public figure, right? I'm not an actor. I'm not an actress. I'm certainly not an actress, but I'm not a public figure, right? I'm a private person that set up a YouTube account. Am I open to criticism? Of course I am. Of course I am. I do critique TV shows and stuff like that. But does it justify the behaviour and the abuse that I've gotten for the last 5 years since Jodie Whittaker's being cast? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And if you're going to sit there and try justify that, right, well, then there's something wrong with you. You really need your head examined. You really need to go and see someone, seek help, because there is no justification for the abuse that I've received over the last 5 years. No justification whatsoever, right? And all of this crap that I've bullied women offline and stuff like this, I haven't bullied anybody, right? The thing about it is that I call out anybody, whether you're male or female. See, I am the definition of equality, because I don't care if you have a vagina and I don't care if you have a penis. If I think that you're coming out with a ridiculous statement, I'll call you out, whether you're male or female, right? It's as simple as that. So, again, your logic is wrong. To call me a public figure is actually a joke anyway. And PD is right. I'm not a public figure. I'm an amateur YouTube content creator that happens to have a different opinion about a TV show that I love, that people like yourself can't accept. Now, Memory, you've been probably one of the worst trolls in this community. And as I said, if you want to be added to the police report, that's fine. That's fine. Keep doing your stupidity there. I just hope me moderators have been screenshotting your ridiculousness, because I'll be showing people. You just stay out of here, right? And that's the end of it. So, John, as I have brought it up, John, turns out Callias didn't like the accountability. It's one thing piling on women. It's another being brought to account by someone like me who can't be intimidated. Exactly. He blocks all the blokes. Gobby Guy was talking about this on his stream. And, the guy bullies women. But then when blokes like us come and approach him, right, to call him out for his behavior, right, he blocks us. Because he only goes after the vulnerable or people that he thinks are vulnerable. This man hasn't got the guts to stand there and stand by his comments. And the comments that he made about John White, and John will tell you this, me and John haven't always seen eye to eye on certain things. But the one thing I will say is I'm not going to sit there and allow people to say, to tell lies about John. John hasn't bullied anybody either. John has done some terrific investigation into stuff in this fandom over the last few years and deserves a lot of credit. But he's never went and bullied anybody. He has pointed out the glaring agenda by certain accounts out there, and for that he has received a lot of attention, the wrong kind of attention, negative attention, and that isn't right. Okay. At the end of the day, you may not agree with what John has to say, or you may disagree with the points of view that he puts across, but he's entitled to those opinions. And this is what's wrong with this fandom. Ever since Jodie Whittaker's cast, the media came out and said anybody that has a problem with a female doctor is sexist, is a bigot, and all of this. And then the newer fans in this fandom then picked up on that, and that's the line that they throw out all the time. If I thought for 1 second that John was going around bullying people, I wouldn't be associating with him. He knows that, and I know that, right? But he hasn't been bullying anybody. All John has done is try to alert the fandom to the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. He was there, like myself, when we exposed the feminist front. John went deeper into it, ended up going down a rabbit hole, and was able to expose some dodgy stuff that was going on in this fandom, and he wasn't taken seriously. And people were calling us conspiracy theorists and all of this, right? But it's all been proved that there was this agenda, that certain people out there were pushing Jodie Whittaker's doctor. And, as I said, guys, if you could do me a favor and take screenshots of all of these memory tweets, messages, please, if you don't mind. I want to throw them up on Twitter later on, because they continue to see this idiot here, Memory Factory, Matthew Needs, or whatever his name is. See, the thing about it is, he's a bit of an idiot. He doesn't realize that there's actually a police file being built up, and he obviously wants to be famous and wants to be part of that. So keep tweeting your nonsense, or keep writing your nonsense, mate. We know who you are anyway, And when eventually an investigation is done, your computer is seized, they'll see what kind of idiot you actually are, and disgusting human being that you actually are. You're disgusting. You are. That's what you are. You're disgusting. See, they're all losing the plot now because Jodie Whittaker is gone. You need to get a life, right? At the end of the day, she's gone, and accept that. And by the way, it's not her fault that the series might be going on hiatus. It's people like yourself, you moron. You're the guys that are the ones that are responsible for this show being on its last legs. Not us. We were calling out all the stuff that was happening, and it turned out to be true. So you guys are responsible for the downfall of this show. So don't be coming on here and trying to intimidate us, because trying to intimidate me is not going to work anymore, right? So it's ridiculous. Like, he's in here like trying. Listen, don't be coming in here to try justify yourself or try justify what's happened to me in this fandom, because there is no justification. There is no justification. There is no justification for Melina being bullied offline. There was no justification for Starry-Eyed Girl being bullied offline. There's no justification for the way your side of the fandom has behaved over the last 5 years, but you have tried to justify it along the way, right? The thing about it is, there's a lot of projection in this fandom. You call us the bullies, you call us the bigots, you call us this, that, and the other. But what you are really doing is you are describing yourselves. You are the bullies, you are the bigots. You don't allow people to have different opinions. So what does that make you guys? Everybody's entitled to an opinion. That's the society that I've lived in all my life, and that's the society I demand that we continue to live in. My opinions, whether you agree with them or not, are just as valid as anybody else's opinions out there, because they're my opinions, and I'm entitled to have those opinions. Now, this is what will happen from now on. John White has done a good thing, and he spurred everybody on. He told Cynical Archivist that if he didn't retract his tweets, that he was going to go to the police. And he wasn't messing. He was going to go to the police, and he was going to have something to do with it. Then I wake up to find out that his account has been taken down. Now, I do reckon that he's only took down the account to try clear up his account of tweets that he might have made over the last couple of years. But what he doesn't realise is the people like John, not my fandom, and other people out there have been taking screenshots of all of these tweets. So even if he does remove all of those offending tweets, right, the tweets are still there for everybody to see. I'm pretty sure saying my full name. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Listen, mate. If you're not going to take responsibility, right, for your actions, it's not liable. It's not doxing, because I'll tell you why it's not doxing, mate. Because I didn't give you your address, you moron. Right? And you've been on this channel under Matthew as well, so I haven't doxed you, right? Because I haven't actually given your address to anybody. And if I had got your address, I'd be going straight to the police anyway to hand over your address. I don't dox people. See, the difference between me and you is this, right? I'm not a scumbag, right? If I had your address, I'd go to the police and say, this piece of shit here, there, look at all of these messages. This is all the type of stuff that he sent me. Could you go and investigate it? Right? I wouldn't even give your address out publicly. I'd go to the police, right? Because that's the difference between me and you. See, you would go that far and you would dox me if you had my address, because that's how much of a lowlife you actually are, right? I would never dox anybody, right? Never dox anybody. The thing is, as I said, I'd go to the police, right, and hand over your address and say, listen, this guy has been going around doing horrific stuff. He's been sending porn pictures, beheadings. He's been threatening people, right? Even my wife came on the phone to you to have a word with you, and look at the way you behaved then. You came out then and you were apologising, saying you were never going to do it again. And look at you now. You're in the chat now. You've been in the chat the last couple of days, been trying to store it up again. You're just a sad little pathetic person. That's all you are. You know? You're sad. And look at you there. Look, we've already deleted several of your accounts, right? Right? And there you are again. You're still going. Answer it instead of avoiding it, you libel. I haven't libeled you, right? Everything, I've got screenshots of all your stuff as well. We don't get rid of these things, right? So jog on, my friend, jog on. Seriously, oh no, that's all he needs, PD. He just wants attention because his mommy and daddy didn't love him enough. That's what it is. His mommy and daddy didn't love him enough, so he wants Daddy Noel to love him back. But I'm not going to love a horrible human being back, you know? Maybe go and ask your mommy and daddy for a hug, right? Maybe you need a hug, you know, and to be told that you know that you're a great person. Let's see who we've got. We've got PD Rich in the chat. We've got Daniel in the chat. Retro Dicky in the chat. Cardwitch in the chat. Welcome. Raymond O'Reilly gave me a €5 super chat. I want to thank you for that, Raymond, and I want to thank anybody that does give us a super chat. It really does make a difference to the channel. So thank you very much. It keeps us going as well, to be quite honest with you. So thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate any help that you guys can give us here on this channel. We got Stephanie in the chat as well. We got Cam in the chat. As I said, we have John White in the chat. Tardis time. Who else? Daniel is in the chat, the ledge. Welcome, Daniel. As I mentioned, Raymond O'Reilly with that €5 super chat. Really appreciate it, Raymond. Thank you very much. I hope you're doing well, mate. We got Robert as well in the chat. Welcome, Robert. We got Matthew Jones, Save Guru in the chat. We got Lindsay in the chat as well. We got Marty in the chat as well. Welcome, Marty. Nice to see you. We will do, Marty, if you're still in the chat, we will do something on the Doctor Who stuff. Just send us a message. We'll try organize it before I go live tonight. Enigmatic Joker is also in the chat. And go and check out Enigmatic Joker's channel, folks. If you haven't subscribed to them already, please do. As you know yourself, you know, when you first start off, you know, you need all the support. Go ahead. Take legal action. Go ahead. I welcome it. Go ahead. You haven't got a leg to stand on. See, the difference is, you moron, I know the law. Right? I know the law. Right? And I haven't doxed you. I've mentioned your first name. And the funny thing is, you've been on streams under your first name on this channel when I gave you the opportunity to come on. So I haven't doxed you, you moron. Because doxing means giving your address as well. So go ahead, do whatever. If you want to take me to court, go for it, man. Go for it. Go for it. I'll be laughing at you. Laughing at you. So do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, you bleeding idiot. Have a case against me. You have absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. See, these people think they could scare me into doing stuff. Yeah, you're really that stupid. You don't know me, right? For 5 years, people have tried to take me down, and nobody has succeeded. So I don't even know why you try. It's actually pathetic at this stage. The whole lot of you. It's actually pathetic, right? Now, as I said earlier, Cynical is gone off Twitter. But, you know, we've got other people in the fandom as well that are bullying people. And we've got this. So again, Mr. Tardis thinks he can try justify what he's done here. So he goes, at problem being 0 times. If they're so libelous and slanderous, then surely you can give me one example. But it's been months, perhaps years, and you simply haven't. The mobile YouTube app tells me which comments you left on the video of mine before. So I've looked, and you haven't told me any specifics. Your complicity in mocking South Asians, it was an ominous prank caller, like you do know a phone-in show work and all of those things, blah, blah, blah. And then he mentions then these comments that I made about China, right? Okay. And of course, Lee tries to correct them here. Yes, China do that. China is a country, a communist country, that unleashed this virus into the world, and someone raised by a Chinese grandfather from Hong Kong and surrounded all my life by Chinese relatives and culture. I failed to see how this was wrong, especially in the context of Noel, who said, they're not me, and you falsely and libellously claim here being exceptionally vulnerable and scared for himself and his wife. And in the same stream, which you never mentioned, he apologized and retracted his statement, which I did. But, of course, Mr. Tardis has an agenda. You know, Noel's a racist, and Noel is this, that, and the other. Noel isn't a racist. Noel doesn't have a racist bone in his bloody body, right? I've explained these comments, but if you want to keep bringing those comments up, that's fine, fair enough. You will see that my audience and people that have followed me don't have a problem with what I said, because they accept the fact that I retracted and I apologized. And at the time, I was in fear, as Lee has rightly said, I was in fear of my wife and my life, because we have underlying medical conditions. We don't know how this vaccine or how this virus is going to affect us. And yes, I was worried about my wife and myself. So if you can't understand that in the context that it was put out in, well, then that's your problem, not mine. But look at how many accounts this person is throwing up, right? And then they try justify it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, as people have said, I'm open to criticism, which is fine, because of what I do, but I'm not open to the harassment and the bullying and the horrible tweets and messages that I've received over these last few years. So you can try justify it all you want, right? There is no justification for the stuff that has been sent to anybody on Twitter, not just me or Messenger, right? There is no justification. It's a different opinion, and unfortunately in this fandom, there are a lot of people that just can't accept that other people have different opinions. And unfortunately, he's one of them. He's one of them. He just can't accept that other fans have different opinions. And, this is why we've decided now that we're not going to sit back and stay silent. And I won't be the only one that'll be doing streams on the situation in the fandom. There'll be a lot more YouTubers now picking up on this and calling this behaviour out. I've reported his messages in the chat right now as harassment, and that'll be hopefully sorted out. The thing about it is they don't realise, YouTube eventually get around to them. So let them. It's what I've been getting for the last few years. It's not going to stop until these people are held accountable for their actions. So, even though Cynical has removed his account, I would have still advised John to have him done. I wouldn't let it go, to be quite honest, even if he has removed his account, because he'll think he can come back in a couple of weeks' time or a couple of months' time and everything will be forgotten about. But the guy must be held accountable for his behavior. And then the rest of them, then once they see that one of them has been hit with a case, then the rest of them should fall in line. This is the thing. Once it happens to one person, they should all fall in line. No, wheels are turning, I can assure you. Yeah, well, John, I would, as I said, if I was in the UK, this would be a lot easier for me, especially with the trials that I've had. I could get it all sorted out a lot faster if I was living in the UK, but unfortunately I'm not. I'm living in the Republic of Ireland, so it's a different jurisdiction. But the fact that you're in the UK means that you're within that jurisdiction, so you can get a lot of things done a lot faster than a lot of other people. So I wouldn't let this go. I would make sure that he gets the full consequences of the law, because what he's done is absolutely disgusting. Bullying women and slandering people online should not be tolerated. But we've seen this kind of behavior, as I said, over the last 5 years, folks. And they go and attack anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. If you have a different opinion to them or a different outlook to them, you're a target. You've got a target on your back, because these people, they're just brainwashed anyway. They're brainwashed, and they have been brainwashed, and they can't see. They know. Look, they do know they're doing wrong, but they think they can get away with it because they have been getting away with it. That's the problem. They have been getting away with it, but this time now, people have had enough. They're not willing to let these people just go and slander anybody. So, as I said, with Paul Streck putting in his report about the Mr. Tardis video, and now John White, basically telling Cynical if he doesn't retract his statements that he's going to go to the police, you know, things are starting to change. Fans on their side are not going to tolerate that kind of behaviour anymore. There is no room in this fandom for people like that, right? Before Jodie Whittaker was cast and before Stephen Moffat left, you know, you could have a debate in this fandom, right? And if you didn't agree with someone, right, there wasn't any bullying going on, right? You agreed to disagree, and that's the way it was left like that, right? But ever since the media started, oh, if you hate Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, you're a sexist bigot and all of this, right? That gave the other side the ammunition that they needed. And this is all they've been saying for the last few years anyway, is repeating what the media has said. Now the media is the wind is blowing the opposite way with the media now, and you can even see some of the media talking about, oh yeah, let's go back to a male doctor and all of this. All of these people that have been involved in the bullying and the trolling for the last few years, wait and you see, right? If a male doctor is cast, they'll all change their tune. They'll all say, oh, how great this is and wonderful it is. You know, and of course, then you'll have a few of the J-bots. They'll be saying it's sexist and all of this, but nobody gives a crap what you guys have to say anymore. I think it's evident when you try to put up a counter hashtag, we don't stand by John Barrowman, and it got nowhere. It didn't even trend. Do you know why it didn't trend? Because all those little accounts that were active during series 11 and 12, when they found out Jodie Whittaker was gone, a lot of them left. Right? And a lot more will leave when Jodie Whittaker is gone. So your time in this fandom is over. Your time in this fandom is over. Right? And people like Mr. Tardis, you know, he's trying to be the new Tom Vance for some weird reason. He thinks by coming out and calling me out, Gary out, Ballstreck out, and, you know, calling people white supremacists and not actually providing any proof is liableness. You know, putting up a clip of Ballstreck saying that certain casting, diversity casting was box ticking isn't white supremacy. It wouldn't hold up in a court of law, right? So the stupidity coming from that Mr. Tardis fella is unbelievable. But, you know, he seems to not want to back down. But as I said, this is not going away. We're not going to tolerate this behavior anymore. All they are is bullies and cowards, right? And that's all they are. So that's, you know, I just, as I said, this has been going on way too long. Now, as I said, you've seen earlier on people trying to justify, right? Trying to justify the harassment and the bullying I have received. Apparently, I'm a public figure, so I'm open to criticism. As a YouTuber, yes, I am open to some criticism, obviously, if people don't agree with me. But as I said, there's criticism and then there's being harassed, trolled and bullied, right? And nobody has the right to harass, troll and bully someone because of a different opinion they might have. And I find it quite funny that as soon as these people are called out, right, on their bull, they start screaming, oh, we're being bullied, we're being harassed by Null Zone. Oh. Right? I'm not bullying, harassing anybody. I'm just calling out you are bull and you don't like it. And this is why I get targeted, because I have no fear. And people say, you know, as I said already, and I'll make it clear again, people that this doesn't happen to say, well, why don't you just ignore it now? So you want me to allow people to slander me at will and keep me mouth closed about it? That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You know, I've got, as I said, you know, I'm dealing with my own stuff at the moment. We've got some girl out there in her 20s accusing me of stuff for the last few years. And now she's gone around asking people, how does she get her crime reference number? Well, I'll tell you how you get your crime reference number. You ring the fucking police officer that gave you the private number and you ask them. But you're asking people on Twitter. You're asking people on Twitter, how do I get the crime reference number? You ring the police officer that gave you the so-called private phone number. But you see, this is how I know you're a liar, right? Because for starters, anyway, no police officer would call me an online terrorist anyway. So even after everything else you say, I know it's lies, right? You don't have no crime reference number because you never went to the police. Okay? And even if you go to the police now, you have absolutely no evidence to back you up that I'm behind any of those accounts or it's been personally me that has done it. So you haven't got a legal leg to stand on. Anyway, right? But the fact that you're going on Twitter asking people how you get the crime reference number shows me again that you're a liar, right? Because you said you had a police officer's phone number, right? So you wouldn't have to be going on Twitter asking people, oh, how do we get the crime reference number? When all you could do was just ring up that so-called police officer that gave you their private number. And this is why I know you're delusional and why you're a liar. And by the way, you know, as I said, if I've anything to say, you know, I call people out. I don't use underhanded tactics. And I'm calling you out right now like I've called you out on other streams when you've decided to rehash your lies. And that's what they are. They're lies, right? Nobody that's associated with me had anything to do with it. Had anything to do with it whatsoever. We know that for certain now. It was people on the other side, right? Not saying you've anything to do with it, but I do believe that people that you know were involved in this and did this. So you would come after me, right? You've played into their hands like I've said it to you. You've played into their hands for the last few years, right? None of this has anything to do with me. I'm an innocent man, right? And as I said, my wife came on the other day and explained as well. If she thought I was behind this in any way, she would destroy everything that I've built up here, right? As I said, me and the wife are open books, right? She has access to my accounts, right? Just like vice versa, right? And she's always giving me advice if she thinks that I might be saying something that might be controversial, she'll help me reword it and stuff like that so it doesn't come across as controversial. But if my wife thought for 1 second that I was harassing women, she'd have nothing to do with me. But I'm not going around and harassing anybody. She's seen all the tweets that I've put up and put out, right? And whether she agrees with me calling people out or not, that's besides the point, right? The point is that she has seen herself that I haven't harassed anybody, right? So, you know, again, you need to stop with your lies and stop spreading your false accusations. And actually, if you went to the police, you would actually find out who it is and you would help other people that are targeted by these people. But you've got a vendetta against me. You've got something personal against me. And, you know, people can see right through your hatred. And that's the problem. People can see your hatred towards me. And this is why you're not going to be believed. And you'll never be believed. Right? You have absolutely zero evidence to back up any of your claims, but yet you've went on for the last few years and you've kept it up. You've kept it up. And for what? But I think the funniest part for me was when I seen the other day that you're actually asking people, where do you go to get your crime reference number? I mean, you bloody told everybody on your accounts that you got a private police officer's number and it never registered in your head that you ring that police officer up. By the way, if you do try and fake a crime reference number, I just want to make it clear to you that when you get the crime reference number, I can ring up the police and see if this crime reference number actually exists. So if I were you, I'd be very careful about what you do next. If you're going to try come up with a fake crime reference number, I'd advise you not to, because you'd be digging a bigger hole for yourself. I think my advice now is to drop all of this, you know, issue a public apology, and let's try get down to and expose these people who did this to you. Because as I said, when it happened, I even said myself it was horrible. It was disgusting and it shouldn't happen. All right? So don't be blaming me, because it's nothing to do with me. It's never had anything to do with me, and it's nothing to do with any of my supporters either. right? Nothing to do with any of my supporters. And that has been proved by John White, not my fandom, and Problem Being and other people out there that have investigated all of this stuff, right? And they could tell you it's absolutely I've nothing to do with any of the stuff that's being put out there. So you've been targeted, as I said, by people that you know. So another person there now apparently is apologizing for calling someone out. See, they know now that they're in trouble, right? So I'll show you this message. I'll show you this. I don't think there'll be any problem showing this. Actually, I'll read it out because it has his second name there, and I don't want to, you know. So I would also like to apologize for calling JTW John the White a white supremacist. I'm autistic and have overlooked the contents on his feed, but his association with genuine white supremacists and conspiracy theorists like Jack and QAnon and others must be raised. Again, so on one hand you're apologizing, right? But on the other hand, that you're saying that he should be called out because he follows certain accounts on Twitter. Well, I follow all different sorts of accounts on Twitter. People from the left, people from the right, and people that are centralist, right? Now, do I agree with everything that everybody says on my Twitter account, on my Twitter feed? No. But does that mean because they're associated with certain people that I judge those people by the people that they follow? No, I don't. No, I don't. And this is the problem again. We got people like that guy that's just came out and apologized, you know, trying to judge someone on people that they follow. And that's wrong. Absolutely wrong. There you go. I'll just throw this up. We 100% know who was responsible for targeting Tardis facts. It's absolutely nothing to do with Noel or any of his regulars, but sadly she just won't listen. It's too emotional and invested. I know. That's the thing. She's made it personal. She feels like I've done her wrong, and she's not going to let this go. But again, as I said, I know for a fact that she hasn't went to the police, because the Garda would have knocked at my door. If she had went to the police and filed a report, they would have rang then the Garda in Dublin, right? The Garda in Dublin then would have tried to track me down, get in contact with me, knock on my door and say, hey, there's been a complaint made against you, but no such thing has ever happened. And that's the thing, you know, that's why I know she hasn't. But if you even see what she's wrote up on her Twitter account, she contradicts herself loads of times. But she's also said some startling things. As I said, a police officer apparently gave her a private phone number, called me an online terrorist and a misogynistic whatever it was, right? No police officer in their right mind. And that alone should convince people that she's bullshitting. But unfortunately, she has a bunch of people that follow her that are just as delusional as she is. And unfortunately, when you've got that amount of delusional people, it's very hard to get your point across or to convince these people that I'm innocent. But you know what? I don't really care. I know for a fact I didn't do it, right? My followers know for a fact I didn't do it on Twitter. The people on my channel, on this YouTube channel, know for a fact I didn't do it. And the reason why I know is because ever since that incident, me subscribers and everything has gone up, right? So if they thought I was guilty, trust me, nobody would be following me or supporting me. But they know that I've nothing to do with it. And as I said, there's no way she won't have the crime reference number. Exactly. Exactly, that's the thing. She put out a tweet asking people, where does she get the crime reference number? Hold on now. I think someone did post it. John or not my fandom, if you're still in the chat, could you do me a favor actually? Because I think it's you guys reposted it. If you could send me the actual tweet where she asks someone on Twitter about the crime reference number, and I'll throw that up to show everybody. Because exactly, no police officer would give you their personal phone number. It doesn't work like that unless they want to be fired for breaking the rules. Exactly. It is illegal for a cop to give out a private contact. Exactly, Daniel. And see, I know the law. You guys know the law. And this is why I know this girl is being lying through her teeth from day one. She just has a personal vendetta against me. I don't know what it is. Maybe she's in love with Jodie Whittaker. And because I've been coming out against our precious doctor, she doesn't like it. Maybe she is in love with Jodie Whittaker. Maybe she's head over heels in love, and you know, she sees me as the bad guy that's coming out against her doctor and the love of her life, and she doesn't like it. Right? And it's become a personal thing. Right? So she knows, I know she knows that it's nothing to do with me, but she'll keep it up because, as I said, she's got a personal vendetta against me. And it's actually, you know, it's quite sad, really. It's quite sad because, you know, there's no need for it. There's no need for it. You know, she's probably a delightful young girl in real life, but she has been behaving very, very badly towards me. And because of her posts, you know, we got other people retweeting her, backing her up, and that's wrong. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. These people then are going and doing what she's doing and accusing me of falsehoods. And she doesn't realize that she's getting those people into trouble as well. You're getting those people into trouble as well because you're continuing this lie and you have other people now spreading the same lie. So you're getting other people into trouble. This isn't going to end well for you. You know, it won't. You don't realize I want you to stop this for your own sake. You know, I don't get me wrong. I want you to get down to the bottom of who's behind these accounts. But I can tell you 100% hand on heart, it's nothing to do with me. It's nothing to do with any of me followers. It's been proven. But you refuse to look at the evidence, right? Or you have looked at the evidence and you're ignoring it anyway, because as I said, this has become a personal vendetta for you. Right? It's become a personal vendetta. And it's actually pathetic, really. Right? So, as I said, I'm waiting for someone to see if they can find that tweet for me so I could throw it up. But this to ask people on Twitter, right? How do I get the crime reference number up? Tells me everything that I need to know. Right? You never went to the police. And you could say whatever you want on your account and say, oh, he's saying I didn't go to the police. He's calling me a liar. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Because you've absolutely provided no proof whatsoever. And you keep going around and telling your lies. And, you know, I don't think you realize how much trouble you can actually get yourself into. Especially making false accusations like that. And I will say one thing, you know, you're hurting women's rights. You're hurting real victims of this kind of behavior by telling your lies. You know it's a lie. You know it had nothing to do with it, right? But you'll continue that lie because, you know, it's you've dug a hole for yourself. You can't get out of it now, so you must continue to tell the lie. Right? But I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit back and allow you to continue to lie about me. That's not how it works. It doesn't work like that. So I'm sorry, it's time for you to grow up. All right, just bear with me because I'm going through some of these. I'm going through this chat that I have, and I'm hoping to see if I can find that actual post. Jesus, there's so much bleeding messages. Just give us a second, folks. For God's sake, man. Fuck's sake. Did I post it up on my own account? Hold on. So I want to find this because I want to show you how blatantly stupid this whole situation is, right? I mean, how you don't know how to just, if you really did go to the police, why your first thought wasn't to ring the police officer that apparently gave you the phone number. But you see, you didn't because you never went to the police, you see. And what you're probably hoping is that someone helps you fake a crime reference number. What you don't realize is I could put that in the central computer that they may have and see if you're actually telling the truth about the crime reference number. Don't think you realize that. See, here's the difference. I'm smarter than you because I'm older. I've got a lot more experience. I know the law. You clearly don't know the law. Right, I'm trying to find this now. Damn. I'm pretty sure. Right. Man, I thought I had it there. Oh, there we go. Is this a... Right. Yeah. So the account, so they've limited their account, obviously, because, when people start calling her out, if you ring them up and ask them about a case you reported, they should help you out. If you lost your incident number given to you at the beginning of the report, first port of call is to ring the station that dealt with you or the police officer's private phone number handed to you with the importance as a direct helpline to help you with inquiring such information. And then someone says, I'll second that. They weren't asking random online. They were literally at the police station. No, she didn't at the police station, actually, because I seen the whole thread. She didn't at the police station. She asked someone that she's friends with online who was online. where she go to get the crime reference number. Now, the reason why I can't put up the tweet because there's other people's names in it, and I'd have to edit it out. But thanks to John the wife for sending that to me again. Thank you. But again, she asked someone, right? She asked someone that she follows, right? So there it is there. I actually have the tweet here, right? So here it is. So one of our followers tried to say that she at the police, right? No, she didn't. Here it is there. So she at this SYP tweet. How do I get access to a crime number and the report, please? I feel like this is the only thing I could do to point or just confirmation that happened, that conversation did indeed happen, because I'm really sick of this. No, I'm really sick of your lies. The fact that you've went and asked someone, as I said, on Twitter, what the crime reference number is, tells me everything that I need to know. As I said, why didn't you at the Met Police? Good point, Cardwitch. Why didn't you at the Met Police? Because the reason why you didn't at the Met Police is because you never went and filed a report. And if you did actually at the Met Police, they'd probably be wondering what the hell you're talking about. Why don't you just admit once and for all that you got it wrong, right, and apologize? That'll be, look, people will say, well, no, an apology is not good enough at this stage. You should take her for what she has and all of this. No, I'll accept an apology off you and a public one at that, right? If you retract all the statements that you've made against me and apologize for it, right? That's all I've ever wanted, right? You know what I mean? So it's up to you. You know, we all know you're lying, right? And even some of your supporters deep down have to know that you're lying. You at someone else, but you don't at the Met Police. So you didn't at the Met Police. Why? As I said, I'll tell you why. Because you've never, ever went to the police. Because you don't have a leg to stand on. What would you actually go and tell the police? Oh, look, some Irish fella is trolling me on Twitter. His supporters are coming after me. Police will laugh at you. And look, he's involved in these soccer accounts. Well, have you any proof he's involved in these soccer accounts? No, but I know it's him. That's not going to hold up in a court of law. So as I said, just publicly apologise. That's all I've ever wanted. Retract your statements and tell people out straight that it wasn't me. Because it wasn't. Because the next time you bring it up, as I said, I will be going to the UK at some stage when everything is lifted and all the restrictions are lifted. And, you know, eventually I do hope to go to a convention. I will be going to the police over there myself. I'll be popping into a police station and I'll be discussing all of this, and I'll be handing over the relative information that I have of you. I've got your address, not your address, but I know your full name, and I know the area that you live in because you accidentally let people know on your Twitter account or wherever it was where you live. So I already know what jurisdiction you're in and where you work. So as soon as I go over, I'll be filing my own complaint. And unlike you, I'll put the crime reference number up for everybody to see. So I will be going to the UK because I will be meeting up with friends. But at the same time, I'll be over there to go to the police because I'll be over there. I'll be in that jurisdiction, and then I'll be able to do something about it. And I will do something about it. I will do something about it. Yeah, that's the funny thing. For someone that's offended by the photograph in question, John, you're right. She does retweet it quite a lot, doesn't she? She does retweet it quite a lot, have to say. And by the way, I call it porn images. It actually isn't porn images. All it is a couple of girls that are in racy lingerie and our head is being photoshopped onto it. So I keep calling it porn images. She keeps calling it porn images, but it's not. It's a couple of racy models in underwear, sexy underwear, and our faces being photoshopped onto it. But it's nothing to do with me. It's not my style. You know me, I call people out publicly, and that's what I've always done. That's why I have a target on me back ever since I've been on YouTube. Because I've got no problem calling people out publicly for their bullshit. Right? So I don't use underhanded tactics. I never have. Never have. Even when people have said to me, come on, let's go into someone's chat and blah, blah, blah. I've been like, no, that's not me. I'm not going into someone's chat just to whatever. You know, it's not my style. I will call them out publicly as I always have done. Yeah, see, in the UK and Ireland's completely different, Stephanie, because I'm in Ireland, Republic of Ireland. So if it was in Northern Ireland, it'd be a different story because it'd be the same jurisdiction because it's the UK. It's Northern Ireland's part of the UK, but I'm part of the Republic of Ireland, and that's a different jurisdiction altogether. So that's the reason why I have difficulty right now of having that done about this whole situation. But as I said, I will be going to the UK at some stage, and I will be filing that report because I'm not letting this go. But as I said, all she has to do is retract her statements and apologise publicly for accusing me of stuff that I haven't done. If she does that, I'll be happy enough with that. As I said, all I just want to do is clear my name, right? Because this girl has been harping on about this now for the last couple of years and keeps bringing it up every so often. And you've got to ask the question, why does she keep bringing it up every so often as well? Right? So, yeah. And Ireland and UK have different rules. Even with the UK, England and Wales have struggles with computers and Photoshop. Exactly. So that's the thing that I'm dealing with. Whereas for John, when that fella libeled him, John was able to, threaten him with legal action. And then we've seen the result because they're in the same jurisdiction. So, that's the problem I have. But as I said, I have filed a report here in the Republic. But as they said to me themselves, and even the Met Police, I got a private message off the Met Police saying that after I told them, they said, well, you have to go back to the guards, So that it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't matter what jurisdiction you're in. If someone is spreading false rumors about you or spreading false allegations, you should be able to report it. It doesn't matter what jurisdiction you're in. I mean, have we not learned over the nurse that passed away when she was trolled? Wasn't it over the Kate Middleton thing where a nurse committed suicide because of a prank phone call? Have we not learned their lessons over Caroline Flack when she committed suicide after being bullied and harassed online for allegedly beating her boyfriend up, which even her boyfriend didn't want any police charges brought against her, but the police pursued her anyway, and that young woman lost her life because of all the trolling and harassment and the newspapers. Have we not learned any lessons? See, this is another thing. This is another reason why I bring it up, is because she doesn't realize that anytime she accuses me of something, my wife takes it personally because obviously she's married to me, and it gets to her. It gets to her because nobody likes to hear that stuff about their husband, and she knows it's not true. But she doesn't realize, this girl, that she's affecting my wife's mental health, and she's affected mine as well. She doesn't realize how dangerous. And as I said, she's It's, I have to be honest, as I said, you're kind of damaging or ruining it for other women who have been um, attacked by men, whether it be online or personal. You're not doing them any favors, because I'm sick of this. We seem to be living in an age where women can go around and make false allegations and hope that they stick, try cancel people. And this is what this girl has done. This is why she keeps bringing it up, right? Because she wants it to stick, right? But unfortunately for her, it hasn't stuck, because people know me. People have gotten to know me. People that follow me, as I said, people that subscribe to me, know that I'm not that type of person. Jesus Christ, I can hardly share a fucking link, let alone try and Photoshop people's heads onto images. I don't know the first thing how to do that. I wouldn't know how to do that. I know it's not just women. You're right. You're right, but I've noticed that there does seem to be a trend. People can just go out and say whatever they want. We've seen that as well with a couple of blokes in the fandom as well. They can go around and say whatever they want, hope that it sticks, and think that they can get away with it. But as I said, a lot of us now have gotten sick and tired of it. That we're not just going to sit idly by now and say nothing. These people are going to be called out every time. It's absolutely disgusting that people can go and make false accusations without any evidence. And as I said, the fact that this girl's gone around asking people, where does she go to get a crime reference number? Well, you got a police officer's phone number, apparently. So why didn't you ring the police officer? As I said, I'll tell you why. It's because you never went to the police. And yeah, I am calling you a liar. And I'm sorry if you have a problem with that, but you are a liar. It's nothing to do with me. I never had anything to do with it. So you really need to get your act together. And as I said, if you publicly apologize and take back what you said, that'll be good enough for me. Because, I think I've been through enough on this platform and on Twitter. I believe that I don't deserve any of this just because I have a different opinion about a TV show that you happen to love. That's not my problem. But it doesn't give you the right to go around, make false accusations, go around and tell lies. But you've been caught out so many times with your lies that you're even tripping yourself up. 1 minute it's me, next minute it's people associate with me. Then you went to a police officer. Then you can't find a crime reference number, even though you got a police officer's private phone number. None of this adds up, right? As I said, I never got a phone call. I never got a knock on my door from the police saying, "Oh, by the way, you're harassing some girl in England," right? Never happened. Never happened. And if you file that police report, trust me, the UK police would have got in touch with the Gardaí and I would have heard something. But you didn't do that. You didn't do that. So, it's time for you to give the game up, because, as I said, people can see right through your lies. And, I'm sick and tired of them. I'm an innocent man. You mightn't like me because I don't like Jodie Whittaker. You mightn't like me because you think I hate women. That's your opinion. I'm married to a woman, so if I hated women so much, why would I get married to them? It makes no sense. Right? I don't hate women. I just hate bullshitters and liars. And that's the bottom line. And as I said, you're not helping women out there that have genuinely got, harassed and bullied. And, when they go make a police report, because of people like yourself, well, there's always going to be doubt whether they're telling the truth or not. And this is the type of thing that you're doing, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself, actually. You know, you talk about women's rights and all this, and women should be treated a certain way. Well, then you stop making false accusations, right? And not helping the cause for when women want to come forward that have been abused. You know, you're not doing those women any favors. So you ought to be ashamed of yourself, actually. And that's where I stand on that. You should be ashamed of yourself. Making up lies, not getting your story straight. This has been going on now for a few years, you know. So it's as I said, I'll accept the public apology. If you retract your statements that you've made against me, I'm happy with that. But if you don't, as I said, when I do go to the UK, I will be making my police report when I go over there. And unlike you, I will put the crime reference number up for everybody to see, so they can type it in and see that there is actually an active case going on. That's the difference between me and you, right? I don't go on Twitter asking people, how do I get a crime reference number? You got a police officer's and a phone number, apparently. So why didn't you ring them? Why wasn't that the first thought in your head? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll ring the police officer that called Noel an online terrorist and a misogynistic pig. But you didn't do that. You didn't do that. So people should start questioning our why. Exactly, PD. These people don't realise that oppression can be made worse through activism. These people don't see the long game. Exactly. But as I've said, you know, we've already got cynical archivist there. He's removed his account. I do believe that what he's trying to do is he's trying to get rid of those offending tweets and any other offending tweet that he's made. And I reckon he will be back up on Twitter soon, minus those tweets. But as I said, what he doesn't realise is a lot of people have screenshot his stuff, so it doesn't matter. And he'll come back with an arrogance, as they always do. But you know, he must be made realise and taught that this kind of behaviour is not going to go unpunished. And as John has already said in the chat, it doesn't matter. He's already still going about it. He's still going to have it sorted out. This guy is not getting away with what he's done. He's bullied 2 women offline, and then he slandered and libelled John the White. And John is having none of that and has decided that he's going to sort it out once and for all. And that's what needs to happen, right? And once it happens, the rest of them should fall in line, because they'll all be then going through their Twitter accounts and wondering what they've wrote up. And that's the thing. We've got to make these people held accountable for their actions. Because if we don't, you know, as I said, they think they can get away with this with impunity, and we can't be having that anymore. As I said, you know, it's time that these people realise that there are consequences to their false accusations. And, you know, they talk about consequence. Well, they're going to know what consequences are, because, you know, they're not going to be allowed to get away with this anymore. This has been going on for way too long, folks, right? And they've been harboured by people like Mr. Tardis and stuff. You know, we've already proven and shown you that these trolls have been very active in Mr. Tardis's chat, right? So much so that when he did his last stream, that these trolls were saying, oh, no zone and problem being and Bolstrick are probably going to not my doctors are are going to come onto your stream and they're going to blah, blah, blah. I got better things to do. I'd rather pick me nose than watching Mr. Tardis stream. I get alerted about the things that he says about me, and then I react to it. But I don't go out of my way to look at what this Muppet has to say, because to be quite honest with you, he's a nobody. So, you know, he doesn't really, he doesn't register with me unless he's obviously gone around libeling me or libeling me friends, which he's done at several occasions. I do, of course, have the libelous tweets from Cynical. There are many, but I don't need to post them up myself. But of course, it's not just me calling him to account. His reputation has become very toxic for his behavior anyway, and he may rightly conclude his account is too tarnished to carry on with. Well, hopefully, but knowing him and knowing them all, John, he's probably going to pop up under a new account or a new name or something, because, again, they don't take responsibility for the stuff that they say. Just give us a second there. Now, if he pops back up in a different account, the pressure should be put on him, because, you know, he think he can get away with it, and he mustn't get away with it. So, yeah, I would say to John, keep the pressure on, you know. If he does pop back up again, which I'm pretty sure he will, because these idiots never learn their lessons. As you're seeing at the start of this chat today, we had one particular nasty piece of crap in me chat trying to justify all the stuff that's happened to me over these last few years. This is the type of person that we're dealing with. These people honestly don't believe that they're doing wrong, right? They think they're on the right side of history. But what they don't realize is that, as I said, they talk about toxicity, talk about how the fandom has gone to crap. Well, you guys are the ones that are responsible for it, because you wouldn't allow fans, long-term fans especially, their opinions. You went and you attacked them, and this is what you do. Tom Vance tried it 5 times until he finally cooked his own goose, but Cynical doesn't have the groupies Vance did. Exactly. But again, you know, people like Tom Vance, they always get their comeuppance in the end. And Cynical and others like him will get their comeuppance in the end. You know, they will go too far. You know, they'll say something and think that they're invincible. Just like the way Mr. Tardis is behaving. He's behaving as if he's invincible, and that he can get away with calling people white supremacists on stream, and thinks he can actually get away with it without providing a shred of evidence that a certain person out there is, or the people that he's accusing of being white supremacists. He's none. Do you have evidence there? Do you have evidence of their KKK accounts? Or have you got their ID? Have you found their white sheets or something? Have you got photographic evidence? Have you got tweets that actually prove that these people are white supremacists? Where have they actually come out and said they hate people of color? They haven't. So you don't have any evidence whatsoever, because none of these people that you've claimed that are white supremacists are actually white supremacists. Your problem is, you little muppet, is that you don't like people with different opinions, and you're such a raging SJW, and you are a raging SJW, and that's your problem. You know, you've got one way of thinking, and if other people don't think like you, well, then they must be bigots, they must be sexist, they must be racist, they must be white supremacists, they must be transphobes, they must be every label that you could think of, you've mentioned over these last few years. It's absolutely ridiculous. But, we'll carry on back. Sorry. We'll carry on doing what we're doing. And as I said, these people are not going to stop us. Photoshopped evidence of Noel at Nuremberg shaking hands with Hitler himself, says PD Rich. Actually, if I was around that time, I would have knocked them out. That's what I would have done. I hate racists. They're the scum of the earth. So that's why, I get very angry when I'm accused of it, because I'm not racist. I made me comments about China. I clarified and I apologized at the time if it did cause offense. But these people don't want to actually, reveal that. It's the same when Mr. Tardis did his hit piece on me. Again, he was trying to show people, or in his own pathetic attempt, to say, "Oh, I'm going to debunk years of Noel Zone's rumors," right? And even when the evidence was 100% and couldn't be challenged, he tried to say a photoshopped stuff. So he even goes with the line, "I know photoshopped stuff and all of this," right? And even when I did streams to clarify or to update people on rumors that I put out, he left them out of his little hit piece he did, because he's got a narrative. It's the same when he called Bolstrek a literal white supremacist. Look at the way he framed his video, right? Look at the comments he made before he played the clip, right? He took it totally out of context because he got a narrative to push, right? And that's what he does, right? And that's what makes him one of the worst people in this fandom. Yeah, I agree. I wasn't born back then, but if I was, I would have punched him in the face. So yeah. But look, as I said, Melina has been offline now for a few days now. Still haven't heard anything from her, which is very worrying. But at least there's some sort of silver lining, and that silver lining is that our bully has either, I think he's taken down his own account. Either that or his tweets have been reported and he's been taken off Twitter. But either way, the account is down. And that's one less piece of rubbish in the fandom that we need to worry about. If he does pop up back again, we'll be making sure that the pressure is put on him to apologise for his libelous tweets. He won't be getting away with this. As I said, John's not going to let it go. And if John finds out that he's on Twitter under a new name, he will be putting pressure on him until he publicly apologises. I'm sick and tired of all of this fake accusations of white supremacy and stuff like this. Mr. Tardis and all those other idiots that mention white supremacy don't even know what the word means. Maybe you should check up in a dictionary what white supremacist actually means. And you'll find that the people that you're calling a white supremacist is actually wrong. The definition that you're using is wrong. These people aren't white supremacists because they don't like a TV show or they think that certain casting is box ticking. And by the way, Jodie Whittaker's casting was box ticking. So what am I now? Am I sexist for saying that? Some of the people that they cast in the show was box ticking casting. I don't care if you agree with that or not. That's what we think. That's our opinion and we're entitled to that. Doesn't make us a white supremacist, right? I've no problem. I've been watching Classic Who and New Who, right? And they've got people of colour in those episodes, in those stories, and we've never had a problem with them, right? The problem is that under this current regime, they're either cast because of the colour of their skin or they're cast because of their genitals, right? And that's a fact, right? That doesn't make us white supremacists. That's what's actually happened. Peter Capaldi was thrown out of the role so he could be replaced by a woman. That's a fact. 3 weeks before he left, he put up an interview which we found, and he hoped to be playing the Doctor for a few years to come. 3 weeks later, he goes on to BBC Radio 5 or whatever it was, and he breaks down crying, telling people that he's leaving the role of the Doctor. He was pushed to accommodate Jodie Whittaker, right? So if you have a problem, it's a problem with the BBC because they're the ones that actually made the decisions that they made, and the reason why the series is in such a dire state is because of those decisions, right? Ratings have dropped to an all-time low. That doesn't happen because people like the show. That happens because people dislike it. And by the way, the facts are all on their side. If this show is so popular, like you claim that it is, you've done several videos trying to spin the ratings as well. You can do all the spin all you want. There's Visual, a new show that's just dropped. It got over 10 million viewers. If you write something good, look at Line of Duty as well. If you actually write something good, something that's interesting, that keeps your audience at the edge of their seat, they will watch. Doctor Who is no different. And don't be saying, oh, well, Doctor Who is different to Call of Duty or Line of Duty or Vigil. The thing about it is, as I said, if Doctor Who was written decent, right, its ratings would have been so much better than what they were. The writing has been dire, the acting has been dire, the casting choices have been wrong. This is all facts on our side because everything backs us up. Everything backs us up. So, it's time for you to stop reading from the same hymn sheet and saying this era was a success because it wasn't. And that's the bottom line. And if you have a problem with that, I don't care. It doesn't give you the right to go around call people a white supremacist and all the other stuff that you've went and called people. So, it's time to grow up. That's the bottom line. But look, I'm going to leave it there. I just wanted to inform you all about the situation. As I said, we'll be keeping you informed of all the stuff that's going on. But Cynical, as I said, has left Twitter. Whether he's taken down the account by himself or whether Twitter has taken it down. But I will say that these people are like weeds. They pop up again. So don't be surprised if he pops up under a different account. And I would keep an eye on that. But as I said, even with the stuff that's said about me, if the person publicly apologizes and retracts their statements, then that's good enough for me. But I'm not going to continue to tolerate this kind of behavior. And as I said, it will be called out, and we will be keeping you updated on the stuff that's going on in this fandom. Later on, I'm going to be doing the movie zone. We're going to be doing Ghostbusters too. So even though, look, there's 24 of you watching now, do us a favor, come and support the movie zone stream, will you guys? We don't have many people that support that. We're trying to get the numbers up. Certain movies do well, but we're watching Ghostbusters 2 tonight, and there's a lot of people that still like that movie. So if you want to join us for Ghostbusters 2, we'll be on later on tonight. Look out for that link. I want to thank Raymond for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you. As I said, super chats are welcome anytime. So I just want to thank you for that meant a lot. And to everybody else for the continued support. I just want to say thank you, and thank you for listening to this stream and understanding where I'm coming from. And as I said to the person in particular, you know, you don't need to be going on Twitter asking people for a crime reference number. Why don't you ring up the copper that gave you that private phone number, apparently? But this is why I know you're telling lies. And as I said, I'll continue to call you a liar because that's what you are. And if you have a problem with that, I don't care if it upsets you. You are a liar. You never went to the police. You never got a police officer's private phone number. And that's why you don't have a crime reference number. And this is why you're trying to make it out that you do. And this is why you didn't at the Met Police and you asked your friends instead, because you don't actually have a crime reference number. And even if you did, you've probably made it up now at this stage. But as I said, that's very easily sorted out by when we get the crime reference number. I can ring up the Met Police and find out if this report actually exists. And, you know, they'll give me the date as well when you made the report as well. So you've dug yourself into a bit of a hole there, love. So as I said, you know, if you publicly apologize and publicly retract your statements about me, I will accept it, and then you can move on with your life and I'll move on with my life. But if you keep this up, I'll keep calling you out, and I'm not going to stop, because as I said, you're not going to get rid of me. You might have got rid of Tom Vance, but I'm not Tom Vance. I'm not a sicko. You won't be getting rid of me. So rehashing your lies is not going to do anything. So my advice would be is to finally tell the truth and tell everybody that you have been lying and why you're and apologize. That's all you have to do. So I'm gonna leave it there. As I said, thank you all for joining me. Really appreciate it. Hold on now. Someone's at the sending me something, so just bear with us. Something on Messenger. So just bear with me before we go, because just in case it's something relevant to this stream. So just bear with me. It says sent on Facebook. Right, hold on. Yeah, we've actually reported on that, Michael. Yeah, so he's just sending me the screenshots of the Doctor Who star Tanya Fair missing as friends and family appeal for help. Remember, she was in Arachnids in the UK. She was spotted, as I said, near where was it? It was she was spotted in Los Angeles, California on September the 9th, and then a few days later, I think she was seen at Trader Joe's. But yeah, she was in Arachnids in the UK. She's gone missing. So as I said, any of our followers from America, especially from the Los Angeles area, Tanya Fair is her name. If you do see this woman, please go. First of all, see if you can approach her. Make sure she's okay, and because you never know. Look, this pandemic has all their mental health up and down, and the woman is probably going through some things right now at the moment. So, as I said, if you're from the Hollywood, Los Angeles area, and you do happen to come across this actress, I'll put her picture up for everybody to see, so you can identify her. So just bear with me for a second. We'll leave with this because this is important. Michael is right. Let's hope that she's found safe and well. Because right now must be very heartbreaking for our family and our loved ones. So here we go. Here's a screen share now. So there she is there. Mark Jackson says, LA, please retweet. My good friend Tanya Fair has gone missing in the vicinity of the Hollywood Bowl area on the 9th of the 9th, 21. Hashtag find Tanya Fair. If you have seen her or know where she is, please call the following phone number there. And there's a photograph of her. The Doctor Who official fan Twitter account also shared the missing persons poster, writing, missing person alert. Tanya Fair, who played Jade in Arachnids in the UK, went missing on the 9th of September. As I said, what's that? It's a few days back now. So our family and friends are very worried about her. And as I said, if you do live in the Hollywood Bowl area, please do. If you do see her, please contact the local authorities because, as I said, we don't know what kind of mental state, unfortunately, Tanya is in. Or she could have genuinely be, sometimes it happens, that people think people are missing, but it turns out that she isn't. Sinead O'Connor actually, last year or the year before, people were worried about her. She went missing for a couple of days, but then she turned up safe and well. So let's hope it's the same thing with Tanya. It doesn't matter if you're not a fan of the current Doctor Who. At the end of the day, it's a missing person, missing woman. Our friends and family are very worried about her. So if you could do me a favor, I think on Facebook and already on Twitter, you'll see our photograph. If not, if you don't have a photograph, just Google her name, put a photograph up and alert people that she's missing. Let's try and help in some way get it out there that she's missing, and hopefully, as I said, she is found safe and well. And our thoughts and prayers right now are with our friends and family who are absolutely probably worried, sick at this stage. So let's hope she is found safe and well. And as I said, we still haven't heard from Melina either. Melina, if you're watching, as I said, people understand why you've went off Twitter. But if you could do us a favor, let everybody know at least that you're okay. Because a lot of people right now are very worried about you after your last couple of tweets. So if you could just let us know that you're okay, and whenever you're ready to return back online, we'll be here waiting for you. But as I said, please get in contact with someone, whether it's Lee, me, or someone else out there. Just let us know that you're okay. That's all we want to know right now at this stage. That's all we want to know, that you're okay. There's no pressure. You coming back online or doing streams with us right now. We just want to make sure that you're okay, and that's the most important thing. So if you could get in contact with us, let us know that you're all right. Because as I said, a lot of people are very, very worried about you right now. And I just want to say personally, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you on these live streams. And, obviously, if we don't hear from you tomorrow, we're going to miss you for the Rick and Morty watch-alongs, which you've become part of. Won't be the same without you. But I know you wouldn't want us not to do them. But we hope to have you back soon. But we do, as everybody in the chat has said, we stand with Melina, and we do. So listen, you look after yourself, and we'll talk to you soon, hopefully. And as I said, if you could just let someone know that you're safe, just reach out. I know my wife and other people have tried to contact you on your Instagram account, and there's been no word. So as I said, please let us know that you're okay. And with that, I'm gonna leave it there. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope to see you later on for our Ghostbusters watch along, a Ghostbusters 2 movie. We start at 7:30. So I'm going to throw the link up now in a second. But we start at 7:30. And Cardi, which says, clap Noel, everyone. Listen, Melina has become quite popular on this channel and part of the community as well. And we don't like to see anybody that we get on with go through what she's been going through. And hopefully, as I said, she's okay. But as I said, right now there are two women. We got Melina, who we haven't heard from, and of course we've got that actress gone missing. So hopefully, Tanya, isn't it? Yeah. So let's hope both are safe and well, because it's not a nice situation at all for anybody associated with these people. So I'll be there now for Ghostbusters 2, says Dave. Yeah, I'll see you all later for Ghostbusters 2. Right now, I'm going to leave you with the hashtag Sheen for 14 video, and then we'll leave with the titles. But I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I'll see you at 7:30 for Ghostbusters 2. Have a good one. And Raymond, again, thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye, folks. See you soon.